Okay, I've been wanting to do this for a while and I just never got around to it. I actually planned on making my dream Mortal Kombat back when Mortal Kombat 1 was in its heyday, but you know, since it's on life support, I pretty much thought why not do it now. I randomly thought about it when I was uninstalling MK1 for the second time and I was just like, you know, why not just let's make a what if scenario. What could have been MK1 or what Dream Mortal Kombat could possibly entail. I have these separated in lists and I did a whole bunch of writing and I took a lot of notes. Hopefully you like this list. You know, if not, that's why it's called My Dream Mortal Kombat. Feel free to also make your Dream Mortal Kombat or anything that you would add or take away in the comments. I do read all the comments, so I'm always going to get around to see it. But without further ado, let me go ahead and get into it. Characters is probably the #1 thing into making a good Mortal Kombat. You need a good roster. You know, to me, it's possible to have a shit story, but a good roster and the game could still be good. To me, that's a possibility with Mortal Kombat. But my roster would be Scorpion, of course, and I gotta go ahead and say Hanzo Asashi Scorpion. I hate that I have to be more specific now since it's now Kuai Liang for whatever dumbass reason. But Hanzo Asashi Scorpion, Kuai Liang Sub-Zero, Smoke, Takeda, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Raiden, Fujin, Johnny Cage, Cyrax, Sector, Noob Saibot, Havoc, Shang Tsung, Shao Kahn, Cabal, Reptile, Aaron Black, and Tremor. Now, as far as the females, because I have them separated on my notes as far as like male and female. Kitana, Jade, Li Mei, Sonya, Ashra, Scarlet, Melina, Serena. And I want the main villain of the story to be Onaga. Now, first things first, what I want to say, I actually didn't want to put Sonya in there. The only reason why I would put Sonya in there is just because her interactions with Johnny Cage. That's pretty much about it. I don't really like Sonya like that, to be honest. I kind of was grasping for straws who I should put on there. I actually like Sindel over Sonya, but I figured we already got a lot of Indian characters in here. I don't think that we need another one per se. So I was just like, we need a special forces character. We need a special forces character. So Sonya could be that. DLC. The DLC characters for my Combat Pack 1. Now, this was actually really hard for me to do because as far as guest characters, I can't really think of any. But I was able to come up with some. I know some people hate the guest characters. I get it, but come on now. Come on now. Like, they're cool as shit. And I get it. You want your Mortal Kombat game to be Mortal Kombat. But like, bro, come on now. It's a money maker. We already know what the deal is. Let's not act brand new. So, for my DLC characters, it will be Kintaro, Kung Jin, and Sindel. Kintaro needs some love, bro. When's the last time Kintaro really got some love? Jack's dumbass ripped his arm off in Battle of the Realms. He only popped up as a fatality for Shang Tsung in MK11. I think he got his shit rocked out in the MKX comics. Like, bro, Kintaro just hasn't been getting any love. This is probably a hot take. To be honest, kind of fuck Goro. I'm not gonna lie. Goro a little overrated. I get it. He the guy. When you see Goro, it's like, oh shit, Prince Goro. I get it. I get the cool factor when it comes to Goro. But, bro, he been getting glazed way too long. And it's getting old. Where Kintaro at? Kintaro is the best Shokan. Between Goro and Kintaro, my boy Kintaro, he goated, bro. Show my boy some love. He need to get some love. And I don't have any Shokan love in my game. So you need, I feel like I needed to add a monster in there. You need a monster. Kung Jin, I was actually going to put Nightwolf. I feel like we got, well, actually, no, we really don't got, I don't think we have enough Nightwolf. But I like Nightwolf, but I just feel like I want to see Kung Jin again. I just want to see my boy Kung Jin in this MKX snarky glory. He was a good character, very underrated, and I just think that he just needs some more screen time. He needs some more love. In Sindel, like I said, I was just going to add like Sonya, but I added Sindel at the last minute for the DLC. And as far as the female characters, like I got like every female character that I really care about. Yeah, and as far as your guest characters, Doom Guy or Doom Slayer, depending on who you ask, Deadpool, and Juliet. from Lollipop Chainsaw. Now, let me talk about this right quick. Doom Guy, he should have been in there. I don't know why the fuck he's not in here yet. That's beyond me. He should have been in the game. Deadpool, I already know, like, you know, people, he's gonna be some people, oh, but he a Marvel character. DC don't play that shit. You know, DC and Warner Brothers on DC, so this Marvel, Warner Brothers not gonna allow that shit. Don't care, bro. This is my dream, Mortal Kombat. Stop crushing my dreams. Martin Luther King said we had a dream, and this is my fucking dream. Let me have my dream. Juliet, to be honest, I don't know that much about Lollipop Chainsaw. If I'm being for real, I probably only played it a handful of times. But I was grasping for straws on who to add. And I kind of wanted to add another female DLC character, and I wanted to be a female guest character. That's why I got a female. I wanted to add somebody else, and I couldn't really think of anybody else. But I was just like, well, I see a lot of people talk about Juliet, and she should be in there, so why not? Now, the tone of the game. I want the tone to be dark and gritty. I love my dark and gritty and just bloody and violent, gory Mortal Kombats like Deception. Love it. But I want it to be colorful when it needs to be. Color to me is like a really big important thing in Mortal Kombat. And I feel like they either do one or the other. I feel like we haven't had a really good mix of real dark and gritty. But whenever there's color on the screen, the shit pops. You don't really see that a lot. Like MKX, the colors is like dark. It's more washed out, more dark. Even MK1, I'll say MK1, where it's just bright. Everything is bright and colorful to the point where the shit kind of looks borderline cartoony. I don't want it to be that, but I want it to be mostly a MKX, MK 3D era Deception type of tone. But whenever it needs that MK1 color, it uses it. And even as far as like the music, I want the music to also be dark, gritty. I just like my dark, gritty Mortal Kombats. I think it just makes the most sense for the type of game it is. Like, we're literally playing as cybernetic ninjas and monsters and heads is being ripped off and blood and gore and guts and people eating brains and shit. To me, it just shouldn't look like a coloring book like MK1. I'm not gonna lie, I hate to go on a little tangent, but as time went on, I started not to like the MK1 super poppy color. I liked it at first, but it is just too much color and too much saturation, and it's just too much, I feel like, for Mortal Kombat. So that's pretty much where I would go with the tone of the game. Okay, the story. I'm not gonna go a whole chapter 1 through 17 of what the story is gonna be. I don't have that much time. I don't have that much dedication. I'm sorry. That shit is just overboard for no reason. But what I will say is that in my dream Mortal Kombat, I am abolishing timelines and multiverses, okay? Those do not exist. There is no new eras in my dream Mortal Kombat. There is none of that. No character changes, no timelines, no multiverses, none of that shit. But I do have some list of some character interactions that I would like to see in my story, which would be Scorpion and Sub-Zero. You need the bromance. Come on now. Everybody likes seeing that. Everyone loves when Scorpion and Sub-Zero's on teams. It's probably a lot better to see them on teams than as rivals. So I like to see more of that. We need a real Scorpion and Quan Chi fight. Something like the Scorpion's Revenge movie. Because MKX didn't really, even though I love to see Scorpion get his revenge, Scorpion really beat up an old bald man. And it's kind of fucked up. Quan Chi he already got his ass beat. He got his nuts stepped on. He was already weak. He didn't know what to really do, bro. He was already about to get bodied. If Scorpion wasn't gonna kill him, he was gonna die anyway. I want a healthy Quan Chi versus a healthy Scorpion, Sub-Zero and Noob Saibot. That's something that we got a little bit of that in MK11, but I want a actual full showdown, a full them talking to each other, the lore behind the story. There's a lot of lore with those two characters and what they can do together, and I feel like that hasn't really been tapped into in its full potential yet. Noob Saibot and Serena, one of the most underrated couples. I know Liu Kang and Katana, they got their chance finally in MK1. Bihan and Serena was like, that's probably actually my favorite like relationship thing besides Harumi and Hanzo, and that's something that doesn't even really exist, since I don't know, my boy just can't have peace. Scorpion just can't have peace. But behind this arena, I would like to see that. And since they're both on the same game, both going to be, you know, around each other, there's a lot of opportunity you can have to, you know, let them do what they gotta do. Let my boy Behind pull some game. Let them be like, hey, yo, baby girl, Serena, you looking mad hellish today. And like, she like, yo, yeah, you know, baby, I just got my hair done. You know, the Revenants got my hair looking point. They got my edges looking crisp. You can have something like that now. We need it. We need to see it. Also, some little things that I had added for the story. Quick time events that actually impact the fight. So let's say that Quan Chi throws a fire skull thing at Scorpion, right? And you don't do the QTE, it will take damage in the fight. I want QTEs to actually affect the story and the battles and anything that goes on. Also with that, that means alternate endings. I want a alternate endings type of story. I would like to have more than two. I would like to have a good ending, a bad ending, and just like a what the fuck ever ending. And I would like to play as the villains. That's something that we just not getting in NRS games. We don't really get to play as the villains. We got to an Aftermath, which that was just a little baby story DLC, but to actually be able to play as the villains in the main story, that's a good thing. And it also goes back to my alternate endings, you know. So my brain was turning right there when I thought of that idea, you feel me? I something working up here. Okay, stages. To be honest, I really don't mind what stages is in Mortal Kombat, but I just have a couple that I would like to see in my game, which would be the Pit, Deadpool, Hell, Outworld, with a purple Sky Temple, and I'm talking about the Sky Temple from MK Deception, the Fallen Cliffs, also MK Deception, Yin Yang Island, also MK Deception, and I want the Living Force. These are probably my favorite stages. Any other stages in there, I really don't care, because a lot of Mortal Kombat stages are really good, so I really don't care, or if there's new ones. These are just the ones that I would like to see. Especially the Deception ones, because those is ones that hasn't really been done yet in recent Mortal Kombats, and I would like to see that. Okay, so you can't have a Mortal Kombat without a fatality. Fatalities is a mainstay, gotta have it. So fatalities, stage fatalities, harakiris. Oh, let me say that again, that was terrible. Harakiris, quitalities, faction kills, stage brutalities, and of course your normal brutalities. All of these y'all probably already heard of. Faction kills, I'm gonna get to that in a minute, but pretty much faction kills is the type of finisher you do, and it all depends on which faction that you're in, and once I get to factions I'll talk about that. But yeah, faction kills. Harakiris. And if you don't know what harakiris are, harakiris is pretty much when you perform a fatality on yourself before your opponent can do a fatality on you. Like, it's just pretty much like a aha, I did it before you could type. So it's pretty much a race to see who can kill you first, you or the ops. This goes back to the dark and gritty Mortal Kombat. Even though we live in a time and place where they're probably, socially they just probably won't be accepted, and I understand. But it's just, to me, it's Mortal Kombat, bro. They've been doing this. This isn't some new idea. This is something that they've did before, and I would like to see it again. I think it's really fun, and I think it's a cool animation, and it goes back, like I said, to the dark gritty shit. It's just, it's harakiris, bro. Harakiris can get pretty dark, and I think we should have them, because I want my game to be dark. And I feel like harakiris is probably the only one that hasn't been done yet. We're about to get animalities in MK1. We got babalities in MK9. We got friendships in MK11. Harakiris is the only ones that hasn't been done yet. I don't think it ever will, but I would like to see it. I would like to see Mercies make a comeback. I think it would just add a little bit of tension to the matches. I really did like using Mercies, especially when I knew that I was gonna body somebody. I would do a Mercy just to turn around and do a brutality. To me, it's the funniest shit ever. It's just embarrassing to have done on you, I'm not gonna lie. But there's a chance that you can bring that shit back. Stage fatality. As time went on, you don't really see a lot of stage fatalities in NRS games, and the ones that you do, they're not a lot. Like, I don't know if I would want every stage to have a stage fatality, but I want a, if not the majority, then a big chunk. 。 The mechanics, I don't know where I should put this, but I guess I put this here since I really just thought about it. This is a 2D fighting game. This is 2D NRS Mortal Kombat game. I was thinking about a 3D era game, but I don't think I want that. I don't think I want that, right? Fatal Blows are going to be returning. I used to kind of be anti Fatal Blows, but as time went on, I think I like Fatal Blows being used as like that like oh shit button. Like X-rays, especially at MKX, I felt like people would just throw out X-rays as soon as they get to the full bars. As soon as they get their 3 bars, they just throw out their X-ray. It's not really any strategic planning. And I guess even though you could do that, if people use it right, it still could be used as like a oh shit button. Now that I think about it, it could just be used for safety measures. I think it's still just good being a fatal blow. I don't mind it being a fatal blow. I know a lot of people don't really care for it, but I don't mind it. And now that I think about it, it could really be either or. It could really be either or, but I'm gonna just go ahead and say fatal blow just for this. 3 bars. None of that defensive, offensive shit like MK11. Breakers for 2 bars. I don't know if I have to put this in the mechanics. I was just thinking about it and I didn't know where to put it, so I assumed it would be more of a mechanic. But juggles, the juggles are going to be crazy in the long flashy combos, so that's going to be a thing. I know that's pretty much a staple in Mortal Kombat, but it kind of differs from game to game. Like MK11 combos is not the same thing as MK9 combos. It's just not the same. There's gonna be some combos you can pull off that's pretty crazy, Run, there's gonna be a run button. You can run. It's a fast-paced game, so I'm on a lot of running. Air combat, I think it's a good thing that they brought back for MK1, and I would like to keep that. I like how the air combat and the air combos work in that game. I think it's really cool and fun. Just give you more to do in the air. Let's like put it back to MK, the 3D era Mortal Kombat, where you can really kind of be in the air for a little bit longer than you currently are in MK1. So I want to add more things you can do in the air. Stage interactions, I want that to be back, because you know you can't have stage brutalities without stage interactions, and I think that's what just I didn't really see a lot of people use the stage interactions, but just having more access to do things, and it makes the background feel more alive, to be able to just pick up a weapon from the background, or throw a tree branch or a rock or some shit, splash some water, throw some dirt in somebody's eyes, some shit. It's just, it makes the stage feel like it's real and it's really a part of the story and everything. So I think stage interactions are a good thing. And stage transitions, a lot of Injustice people think that they got that shit. No, Mortal Kombat 3 started that shit and we want it back, okay? So stage interactions, that's our shit. Injustice, y'all can go somewhere else with that. It's ours. I don't want every stage to have a stage interaction, but I want some stage interactions. I want those transitions and animations where you punch somebody, they go off stage, they start flying, some extra shit. They might burn and then like they get stabbed or some shit. Sub-Zero come out of nowhere and say, "Do or die!" Freezing, and like some crazy shit happens, and then Shao Kahn just be like, "You suck," and then you just end up at another stage or some shit. We need that. Features. Now, factions. Going back to what I was saying about factions. If you don't know what factions are, there was an MKX, and it's just pretty much, you have 4 different teams, and you pick a team. Anything that you do, all the in-game time that you do, if you play online, play offline, go here, go there, whatever you're doing in the game, you will end up contributing to your faction and helping your team move forward. The more you move forward, you end up getting rewards. I want some exclusive skins, some exclusive gear, some exclusive everything for factions, specifically for winning factions. And I also want exclusive things for whichever faction that you ended up going to, and you end up leveling out. Whenever you pick your faction, and let's say you level up your whole entire faction and you get to the highest rank in the faction, and you reap the benefit of all of that, you get all the rewards and you get the skins and calling cards and whatever comes with that, and you can also go to another faction. You can end up unlocking the rewards for that. And I would like to do like a kind of mastery thing, where if you max out your rank in every faction, you end up unlocking more exclusive gear and skins or whatever. And talking about my factions, I would like a Shirai Ryu faction, a Lin Kuei faction, White Lotus, and Outworld. I know Lin Kuei and White Lotus has already been done. I was thinking more of the bad guy Lin Kuei, because the Lin Kuei and MKX was more Sub-Zero centered, but let's focus on more of the robotic, the cybernetic portion of the Lin Kuei. So they're going to be the bad guys still. I didn't know what else to put is for White Lotus. I just put White Lotus because it's just like, what other factions of good guys do you got? And for factions, of course, I want to bring back the faction battles and the faction invasion boss. Those is pretty much, I feel like factions could have just been done a little bit better, and that's what I kind of want to do. I want to add some new stuff to faction, make it a little bit more fun, more engaging, you feel me? And I want there to be a theater mode. If you know Call of Duty, you know what a theater mode is. I believe Tekken has something similar to a theater mode where you can go back and see the matches that you played against people. I want something like that, but I want the theater mode to also be used to get that special thumbnail, or you can add some type of montage, or you can get something together like you could on Call of Duty, for instance, in their theater mode. So I want a mixture of like a Tekken Call of Duty hybrid of a theater mode. I think that's something that we need. Of course, I want the free camera. You can zoom out, you can look at the stage, you can go out of bounds, see everything and shit like that. I want that type of free camera as well. Customized character. Of course, you're going to be able to customize your character. You have skins, and then you have 3 gear pieces. Going back to the MK11 model. Skins, you're going to have palettes. You're going to have palettes because I do think palettes are good. But where I'm going to mix it up is you can decide the colors of the character. That's something that we don't have. You can decide the colors of the characters. If you want Scorpion to be all black, you can. If you want Johnny Cage to be wearing yellow pants, you can. If you want Liu Kang with a purple bandana, you can. You can change the colors. There is no more palettes of like set colors. You can choose the colors of the skins. And gear, there's going to be 3 gear pieces, and the gears are actually going to be noticeable, and they're actually going to be effective. I don't know if is effective the right word, but like you're going to be able, it's not going to be some stupid shit like on with MK11 when they had when you could change the color of like Sub-Zero's stupid ass ninja stars that he doesn't even use.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass.
No, we're not doing that. It's going to be things that you can see, things that is very, very noticeable, and they stick out and they pop. That's what we need. And you can also change the colors of these as well. And I also, for some reason, I don't know why I added this, but the eyes, I guess the eyes can be its own separate thing. If you want, you know, like classic Scorpion with normal eyes, I don't know why you would want that. You can have like the black possessed eyes, or like normal, you can have blue eyes or brown. It don't matter, just you got a whole bunch of eyes, okay? I just want eyes. Eyes is in the game confirmed. Character level, something that they did in MK1, I want that back. But going back to the factions, how the faction is, once you complete every single character, you get a reward for that. Masteries, you know, you gotta protect the sweats. The sweaty people, they're going to go for this shit. They're the most dedicated. You gotta reward them for their time. Exclusive skins and gear that you can also get. You can customize your taunts, your end of the round taunts. Same thing with the victories and intros. Characters have different victories and intros that they can also customize, just like MK11. Custom UI, you can customize your UI. I just want it to be like kind of user identity. Every person has their own identity and what they want to do and how the game is going to look for them and how they want to personalize their game. MK1 health bars, or like you can have like the MK Armageddon health bars, or just certain shit like that. Jukebox, you can play different music from different Mortal Kombat games. Different stages is going to have the classic music, and the menu select screen is going to have its classic musics, and you can choose which game you want it to be. Announcer voice, one of the good features that Mortal Kombat has done recently. I want there to be different announcer voices. I actually want an announcer voice for each character. Every character should have their own announcer voice. That actually might be something that I will put in like the rewards thing for each character, like the character level. If you reach max level or some shit, you unlock the announcer voice for that character, something like that. So every character should have their own announcer voice. That would be cool. Censor options. Now, I know that Ed Boon said, I forgot what he said. I think he said it's like a dilemma or something like that, or it was some shit like that for why a censor option wouldn't be in Mortal Kombat, or why it shouldn't, or something like that. I don't really agree with that necessarily. Mortal Kombat has been terrible for every content creator since YouTube became the way that they are now. You can't really do anything, and I know people are tired of it too, of like the censoring, like the filters and the black screens and making the screen black and white just so you don't see the blood and gore. Some people hate it. As a content creator myself, when I really wasn't creating YouTube videos, I still understood the point of why people did that. It's just, it's not safe for YouTube. It's really not safe, and the fact that they're not doing anything to combat it is just kind of insane to me. So what I would do for my censor options, you can change the blood to any color that you want to, or you can have it be no blood or sweat. You can just have it be a sweat option. There was like an option for that in like the old, that's the crazy part, is that they had this in like the Sega Genesis Mortal Kombat. It's completely censored, and then if you want to have blood, then you put in the infamous blood code. And you might be saying, well, how am I gonna do my fatality? Or I can't even use my fatal blow then. I got something for that. You remember when you played the story of MK1, and when you did your fatal blow, the character didn't really do their actual fatal blow. You know, the cameo did like some crazy shit where they like punch you a million times. Bring that back. And I know people are going to be like, ah, man, this kind of sucks. But you still have your fatal blow. You're still doing something cool. Of course, I want it to be a lot more cooler than it was, because on MK1, it was really just a bunch of punches and kicks. Having every character have their own censored fatal blow would kind of be insane. That's a lot. So everyone would just have a base censored fatal blow. It's gonna be flashy and cool, but it's just gonna be a universal thing. But it's still gonna do the same amount of damages as a fatal blow. It's just, it's not gonna be as over the top violent like it usually is. And for the fatalities, for the finishers, you just can't do them. You just can't do them. Or I might, you know, they might add like a friendship maybe, but you're just not gonna be able to do them. As soon as, it's gonna be like some Injustice type shit. As soon as you punch them and like you do that last bit of damage, they fall to the ground, and then you just do your victory pose. That's just what it's gonna have to be. But that's if you pick the censor option. It's not like your game is just gonna be completely censored. But if you want to censor your Mortal Kombat, if you're making a YouTube video, if you just tired of looking at blood and gore or whatever, you're just not going to be able to do a fatality or a finisher, which I feel like if you pick that option, you already know what comes with that and you'll be all right. Cross-platform, PC, Xbox, and PlayStation will be able to play together day one. The store is going to be in here.
Boo this man!
I know, size, booze. I would like the store to be reasonably priced though. I did have price ranges, but the more I thought about it, I don't know what makes sense for the prices sometimes. Like, gear pieces should definitely be $1, but when it comes to skins, and I was thinking like, well, do I want skin packs, and how much would a individual skin be besides a skin pack? And it was just too much thinking, so I was just like, I want it to be reasonably priced. The price has got to be reasonable. All right, game modes. You need a good amount of game modes for this game to be successful. So you have your 1v1s and you have your tag teams. Tag teams are making a comeback. No cameo. Oh shit. No cameos. Tag teams. Tag teams is coming back. So you got your 1v1s and you got your 2v2s. Okay. You got your King of the Hill. Can't have a Mortal Kombat without that. Yes, Kombat League is returning. I was just gonna say ranked, but Kombat League pretty much is ranked with a little bit extra. I want a Kombat League tag team. Test your luck. Test your luck will be able to be played online, tag team and 1v1. Test your might will also be able to be played online. And of course your story, I already said that, but if I had to say it again, of course the story is going to be a part of that. Crypt and Conquest, that is going to be the thing. Okay, you're going to be able to get your rewards in the Crypt. The Conquest part is going to add more lore. I don't want it to continue the main story. I want it to just add more lore to this existing story. Now, one thing that I'm not sure about is that I don't know if I want it to be where you get to create your own character, like your own little guy that wanders around the realms to earn rewards. I don't know if I want to do it like that, or have it just be like you just pick from a bunch of characters. But I'm probably going to lean more in towards the customizing your character. Crypt and Conquest is also going to be online, but I want it to be an option where you can go online or offline. I want those things to be different. And the reason why I say you can go online is that I want it to be like a co-op type of thing. I want like a co-op Conquest. You and one other person, y'all can go wander and do other shit and complete tasks and things like that. I want it to also be like a game hub, like a battle hub, so where you see other players and you can challenge them to fights and things like that. If you see them in realms, and you know, you might go to Netherrealm and you see your boy Josh there, and you like, oh shit, Josh, you was talking all that shit yesterday, 1v1 me then. You feel me? That's what that's there for. But for people who are just there to just go ahead and get their rewards, or they're just trying to figure out the lore in their own time solo, I do want there to be an offline feature for that. I don't want it to be where you have to be online. You don't always have to be online. You can do all of these things offline. Of course, if you want to play online, you need to play online in order to do that. In order to just access basic shit, you shouldn't need an internet access to do that, and that's not what I'm doing for my game. Mortal Kombat is making a comeback, and you can play this offline and online. Practice, you know, I don't know if I needed to say that, but practice 1v1, 2v2. You got your fatality practice, and you got like your towers. You got your traditional endless living, survival, normal, and the practice options. I don't know if I have to say it, but make the practice like Tekken's. Every single thing that we was complaining about the practice mode, because it's been so long since I really like thought about all of the problems with MK1, but I know there was some problems about the practice mode, and there was certain basic features that we just didn't have. None of that exists in my dream Mortal Kombat. We got all of, we got that and then some, so we good. Post-launch content. We know, like, the typical post-launch content that you would usually get from a game or a Mortal Kombat in this case. So, you know, your DLC skins and packs. I would like that Earthrealm skin thing that they did, like for Katana Melina. I would like to see that with more characters. Like, bro, Scorpion and some crisp Tims. Like, imagine seeing Scorpion and some Butters, bro. Imagine seeing Sub-Zero and some Air Force Ones. You ain't gonna never get that shit because Nike don't play that, but still, a boy can dream. Your movie skins, your Annihilation 95, 2021 movie, MK Legends movies, 3D era classic skins, premiere skins. I want premiere skins from Injustice. Yo, we taking your shit, we don't care. Injustice, we taking your premiere skins. We own that now. I want a meat skin. We used to have this. Okay, stop taking meat away from us. Pause. Every character needs a meat skin. Okay, everybody should just have a skin where they're just literally skin, and that's the meat skin. So that way we can always have meat in the game without having meat. Pause on that. And like for instance, like a mocap skin for Johnny, or a zombie Liu Kang skin that actually comes with like the chains and shit like that, and actually does like the hissing and the growling like zombie Liu Kang did. Seasonal events / rewards. When Halloween time hit, we want that Halloween fatality, and that shit better not cost $10. And some of them don't even have to be like seasonal as far as like holidays. It could just be like Bloody Mortal Kombat Day. I don't know. I just made that shit up. But like every character is just covered in blood. Stuff like that. Just add different rewards and events. Like give people more incentive to keep playing, because they try that shit with Invasions and still nobody plays that shit. To add friendships in there, if they was to add a finisher, I would like to see friendships back. Of course, new game modes. I don't know what that would be exactly, but new game modes, something to freshen up the game. Of course, like I said, DLC characters and the story DLC, you gotta have it. That's like a staple now with Mortal Kombat. It seems like that we're gonna have like an Aftermath type, Chaos Reigns type DLC, so I want to keep that. this is just miscellaneous things. These are things that I just really didn't know where to add them or where to put them. You know, I listen them down because I think that they are important. 3-line intros. Intros is going to be back when the characters talk to each other, and it's going to be back to being 3 lines like MKX and MK11, where characters say something back, then the character rebuttals. That extra line adds so much lore and just detail to the conversation. Battle damage, something that was in MK9. Your character's mask should fall off, their eyes should be gouging out, you know, their skin should be ripping apart. You're fighting to the death. They did something similar to MKX, but the shit looked weird. They only had like sweat particles. It looked like they had like some type of skin disease. They just had like random black scars. Like, I don't know if y'all realize, but MKX is just black scars, like secret fights. I don't know why we don't have this. This is like a staple to me as far as Mortal Kombat. When I think of this, I think of Mortal Kombat. I think about the reptile fight. I think about, you know, the secret characters that you see in the background with Smoke and Jade and MK2, or that was even in MK9. Those they need to be back. And since I said that, another thing that I put on here that needs to be in Mortal Kombat, because to me it's crucial to the details and like the importance of Mortal Kombat, it's the Easter eggs and the whole mystery about it. Nowadays, you don't really have that. I like the mystery and the Easter eggs that comes with Mortal Kombat. It adds something to it that we just don't really get anymore. And the last thing that I have is PC/mod support. Now, I don't know what it is. The PC ports do not get as much love as the Mortal Kombat console ports do. I feel like PC ports are crucial to making sure that the game stays alive and it keeps the community together. Hence why I also have mod support. Mod support is something that you need. Adds custom characters, maybe you want some textures changing. And I know it could get a little out of hand, you know, if people are using licensed characters, but you can always kind of have a moderation team to, you know, fizzle that out and show love to the PC community. They need it, bro. We need them. Like I said, if you have that PC support on top of the cross-platform, that's a good game. That's a good game. And I want a opening cutscene. I do want an opening cutscene like Mortal Kombat Deception or Armageddon or Deadly Alliance. MK1 does not, to me, that shit not even a cutscene. All we just seen was Google Earth. That shit was literally Google Earth in Mortal Kombat. I don't want that shit. I want an actual, I want to see people fighting. I want to see something. We need something like that. Not no dumbass, and my new era things are not what they was in the last game. I want an actual cutscene, people fighting, animation, we seeing characters, we seeing fatalities, we seeing moves, we seeing stages, we seeing it all. Alright, that's all I have. I actually almost been recording for an hour, which is crazy. This is gonna be insane to edit. This is my dream Mortal Kombat. If I was to think of the name of this game, it will probably be called Mortal Kombat, a better game. That's the name of it. Let me stop before I get shitted on in the comments. If you think that your list will be better, or if you want to add or take away things from my list, or if you just have any critiques or anything really, if you have anything to say about the list or really anything at all. I had somebody tell me that he just farted in the comments before. So do whatever you want to do. I mean, I ain't gonna, just be civil. That's it. Do whatever y'all want to do. I don't really care. I would love to see Interest take some of these ideas and make something happen of it. I'm sure this is my longest video that I've ever uploaded. So if you made it this far, thank you and I appreciate it. Hopefully you guys have a great day, great night, great day, great afternoon, great evening, great hour, great minute, great second, all of that. You feel me? I'm out.